Hello, everybody, and welcome to my review of The Mandalorian Chapter 3, The Sin. I'm going to change a few things up here. I'm going to shorten my videos. I'm not going to go through the entire episode, which is what I was doing the other reviews. It's a little too long, and there's no point in it, so I'm going to try to stick to the main points, and at the end we'll talk about the stuff that was interesting. So here we go. We start off with the Mandalorian in the ship, with Baby Yoda being cute as Sin. He's always cute, though. Always, always, always. And a little ball on a handle has caught his fancy. He decides he wants to chew on it, grabs it somehow. I don't know how he unscrews it, but he unscrews it and starts chewing on it. Mandalorian's like, that's not a toy. He takes the ball away from him, puts him back. So they head to the planet. They land and they walk through the bazaar, and the bazaar is awesome as always. I mean, it looks great. All these aliens all over the place. You'll see Twi'leks and aliens I can't recognize, and they just head through the town. And you also see uh, Jawas, but not the same ones you saw in the desert. The ones in the desert had like brown little hoods and in their clothing was brown. These are gray, which is, I mean, so are there different clans? Are those sand Jawas? What are these city Jawas? Kind of interesting, I think. So they head to the place where Werner Herzog's character is and knocks on the door and they let him in. And the stormtroopers are basically grabbing the egg pod, and the Mandalorian's like, be careful with that. And they act like, the one to act like a child, no, you be careful. It was like, what? He acted like it was funny. Immediately I went, what are you, 5? So they head inside. There's Werner Herzog's character. By the way, his name is the Client, which is crazy. I mean, there's no name. His name is the Client. So we'll talk more about that more later. And the doctor's there also. Dr. Pershing, his name is. So they check the Yoda out, and he's in good health. And Werner Herzog's like, man, you're awesome. Thank you for bringing this little baby Yoda in. Here's your Beskar, which is a lot of Beskar, by the way. So they take the baby Yoda away, and Mandalorian's like, what are you going to do with the baby Yoda? And it's like, that's not part of the rules. And I'm paraphrasing here. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get it wrong. Werner Herzog, the Client, says, in these trying times, it's hard to find a Mandalorian. It's easier to find steel. I'm paraphrasing. And basically, it's a vague threat saying, "Don't just mind your business, and nothing will happen. Just if you ask too many questions, bad things will happen." So that's basically what he was saying. It was pretty good. It was a really neat little phrase he said. So the Mandalorian heads back to his Mandalorian hideout, their base. Lots of Mandalorians there, which is really cool. And you get a better look at these guys. And they actually, you see one as he's walking in the background. He's red. He is red, which I would love to know about that more about him. That hopefully maybe down the road we will. So he heads over to the armor. That's her name, the armor. And I guess he's in charge. Again, another person with no name, which is neat. So he shows the Beskar. And meanwhile, all the other Mandalorians decide we want to check what's going on. And apparently they're not very happy because he got the Beskar from the Empire, which apparently the Empire shattered the world. Not, that's a bad deal. They're pissed off that he's working with the Empire. So of course we know what this is going to lead to: a fight. So the big Mandalorian and Mando get in a fight, and they end up in a standoff with knives pointing at each other. And finally, the armor steps in and basically asks the Mandalorian, "Have you ever taken your helmet off?" He's like, "No." And have you ever had anybody else take your helmet off? He's like, "No." And he goes, "This is the way." And they all say, "This is the way," and that calms everybody down. I don't know why, it just does. And we'll talk more about that helmet thing later. So he sits down with the armor, and they talk about how he got, you know, his damage on his armor and what they're going to do with it. And he basically says, just use it for something else. Use it for whispering birds. Now we're going to talk about that more later, which is awesome. So as he's sitting there, of course, you have to have the making armor montage. You have to have it. You gotta. And as he's sitting there, he's starting to do his flashbacks, as always. Now, again, I'm really curious about that. I'm not too sure what that means. Maybe we'll talk about it a little bit later. Are they Mandalorians or are they not? So, and you actually see the Empire droids in there too. So that's very interesting to note that they did say the Empire shattered their world, but are those Mandalorians? We don't know. So we head back to the bar where Grief is. That's Carl Weathers' character. And in comes Mando in his awesome, shiny new armor. Just swagger and everything, looking awesome. Everyone's looking at him, and he's like, hell yeah. You can see it. He's just like, that's right, me. So he's talking to Grief, and Grief's all stoked. He's like, man, you're the man. You're the bomb, man. And he's basically like, who else had this job? And everyone did, but you're the one who got it done. You. And Mandalorian's like, well, I need another job. He goes, well, take a vacation. I need another job. So it's like, fine, fine, fine. So he gives him another job, and with some other alien, and he's going to go Aqualish, I think they're called. And no, I don't think that's what they're called. But anyways, that's the guy who says it's a trap. That race, Akbar race, and he actually asks what's going to happen to the Baby Yoda, and he's like, I don't know. So he heads to the ship to get ready to take off to do this mission, and he goes to reach for that handle with that bar, the little ball that Baby Yoda grabs, and he looks at it, and then he looks at the ball, and you know what's going to happen. He's got to go back. He's got to go grab Baby Yoda. So sure enough, he heads back. He's looking around for a way to get in, and he comes across the dumpster, and there's Baby Yoda's egg pod. And you can see, you can't see his face, but you know trouble. There's trouble coming. So the Mandalorian, this is a really cool part. His gun, the one that disintegrates people, can do more than just disintegrate people. It can actually hear people through walls, and you can see their heat signatures. So he knows what's going on inside. Really, really cool. So the first thing he does is he goes back to where he knocks to get into the door, and he destroys the robot eye, the eye robot. Just absolutely just crushes it. Which brings out the stormtroopers, and they're pissed because, those damn things are expensive. That vandalism sucks, so they're not happy about that. So as they're coming out, Mando goes back, and he puts a bomb in the wall and blows it up, which brings the stormtroopers into the room where he just blew a hole in there. So, here we go. This is what's going to happen. 2 stormtroopers come in, right? 2 stormtroopers dead. Right. Another stormtrooper comes in, sees his dead buddy, just laying there. Uh-oh, not good. Stormtrooper dead. That's 3. So the Mandalorian goes into all. Hey, look, there's a stormtrooper there. He uses his grappling hook, pulls him towards him, stabs him. That's stormtrooper number 4. And by the way, that is a Mortal Kombat. Get over here moment. There's no doubt about it in my mind. That's a get over here. So there's 4 dead stormtroopers. So he opens up the door. There's another stormtrooper in there. Stormtrooper takes a shot at him, actually hits him, but it reflects off his super awesome armor, and he kills another stormtrooper. That's 5. Now, there's the doctor. There is a medical droid in there. I guess Mandalorian does not like medical droids, and he destroys the medical droid. Gone. Doctor's freaking out, saying, please don't shoot me. The Baby Yoda's laying there all quiet and everything, just sleeping. And the doctor's freaking out, please don't kill me, don't go. And then when he looks up, Mando's gone with Baby Yoda. All right. So down the hall he goes with Baby Yoda. So he gets into another room. 2 more stormtroopers walk in. What happens? Kills 1. There's 6. The other one comes up. He gets another one. That's 7. So he heads back down the hall. Another one sneaks up. That's 8. He kills. So another one comes behind him again, and that's 9. And so, but this one, he doesn't just shoot him. He crispifies him. And again, he burns the crap out of this dude. And he's like, this is a Mortal Kombat moment. Crispy. They must have been paying homage to Mortal Kombat. They had to. It's too coincidental. So, it is. So you got 9 there. 9 dead stormtroopers. So he goes into another room, and there's 4 more. So this is where the whispering birds come in. He tells them, I got a package. That's very important. Let me put the package down. As he puts the package down, here comes the whispering birds. And they shoot out, and they just Iron Man all the 4 stormtroopers. It's just like Iron Man. And lo and behold, 4 dead stormtroopers. That's 13. He wipes out 13 stormtroopers in this building. Man, that's a lot of stormtroopers. That's how bad this dude is. So he heads out into town. Meanwhile, back at the bar, all the bounty tags go off, which means they got to go after Mando. Not a good thing. Very John Wickish all of a sudden. Now everyone's going after him. So he's going through town, and lo and behold, everybody, and I'm starting to think everybody in this town is a mercenary because everyone has guns trained on them. Everybody. So as you head down the town square, if you will, or the street, he runs across Grief. There's Grief with all the all the mercenaries. They all have guns pointed at him, and he's like, "Look, man, you're gonna have to give me the package." And he goes, "Well," and he goes, "Put it over in the skiff," and there's a little robot skiff, and put it over there, and we can talk about it. He goes, "Well, how can I trust you?" And I swear, this is basically Princess Leia, because I'm your only hope. I'm like, okay, you're my only hope because I'm your only hope. Very paraphrasing it, but that seems like what it is. So the Mandalorian goes to the skiff and puts Baby Yoda in, and then he starts shooting everybody. He jumps into the skiff, and now everybody's shooting. It's a big old gunfight. Everyone's shooting everybody. And the robot takes off. He has the robot take off. The robot takes off. So they're barreling down the street. He's shooting everybody. Grief takes aim at the robot, shoots the robot. Now the robot's dead, and the skiff comes to a screeching halt. So they're all aiming at the skiff. And here comes his weapon, his disintegration weapon. And guess what happens? Poof! Gone. Disintegrated mercenary. Then poof! Another one. Disintegrated. They all scatter because they don't want to get poofed. So he's just poofing. There goes another poof, another one. He just keeps poofing them. And so Grief basically is trying to get these guys to get him. A couple guys come around him, but of course they can't sneak up on him. And he just takes them out. And now they're in a gunfight again. And this time he brings out his flamethrower and he's just whipping that sucker around and it runs out of gas. So now basically that's it. There's nothing else he can do. He's doomed, until all of a sudden a rocket shoots past him from behind and in the sky and hits one of the mercenaries on the roof. And lo and behold, here comes Mandalorians from the sky. I mean, it's raining Mandalorians. They're all over the place, which is a really cool scene, by the way. They are just landing with their jetpacks. A huge gunfight ensues, and it's just they're walking down the street, just shooting everybody. All the mercenaries are on the roofs. I mean, really cool scenes, by the way. And Grief sees that and like, nah, I'm out of here. I have something better I can do. So Grief takes off. Meanwhile, the Mandalorians are still going around shooting everybody. And the big Mandalorian that I told you about, and I can't believe that was his name, Paz Vizsla, comes down and he starts opening up on him. And Mandalorian's like, oh, cool, man. The guy who was a jerk to me is being cool. And so he lays down cover fire and they send, and he tells them, take off your ship. Man, he's just shooting that big giant gun, which is all, I don't know how to carry that thing, but he's a big dude. So the Mandalorian heads back to his ship. And as he gets on his ship, there's Grief. He snuck on the ship and hid in there, waited for the Mandalorian. And basically saying, man, I'm sorry this come to this, but you need to give me this package. And the Mandalorian's having none of this, and he turns on the what is that thing called again? The carbonite freeze. Got it. And it sends out all this gas, so obviously Grief takes a shot, he misses, Mandalorian doesn't miss, nails him. That's it for Grief. Dang it, I like Grief. So the Mandalorian takes off. There's still a gunfight going on in town, and you can see a really cool view of it from above. And you go back to where Grief is, and Grief is not dead. Well, how's he not dead? That's not possible. He should be dead. Oh, wait, the Beskar. Man, that was a nice place shot right where the Beskar was. That Beskar can take some damage, I tell you what. So he takes off. Again, you can see from below the firefight, which is really cool looking. And as he's going, Paz Vizsla comes up on the side of the ship on his jetpack, obviously on his jetpack because he can't leap that far. He ain't the Hulk. And gives him a salute, which is a really cool scene. And of course, the man was like going, I got to get me one of those. And all of a sudden, you see this little hand come up. The baby Yoda wants that little ball. It's the funniest looking thing. I just started giggling when I saw it. That thing has got his attention. And the Mandalorian gives it to him. And they fly off into the wilds of space. I mean, there's a really nice view, there with the blue sky and everything. And then they're off into space. And that is the end of the episode. So let's talk about it, shall we? I really liked it. I thought it was an awesome episode, very well done, and each episode has been directed by someone different. Filoni did the first one. Figueroa, I can't remember his name. That was another guy who did it. And I'll remember that. I'll just paste the name up there so you can see his real name. I hate butchering names. And Deborah Chow did this one. Everyone's raving about Deborah Chow in this video, in this chapter, saying how amazing it was. Well, it's just as good as the other two, I thought. And I always thought, from what her credits are, I thought, well, she's going to do a good job because she looks like she's done a lot of stuff. She knows what she's doing. And of course she did. It's almost like these people are just praising her because I don't know why. I mean, they want to give her a cookie. She made a good episode. No, she's obviously an accomplished director. She did a good job. And remember, this series is Favreau's vision. So they're following his guide. So this is Favreau's vision. He's not going to let him steer too far off. So, but still, great episode, great job. By the way, Deborah Chow's going to do the Obi-Wan series. So if this is any indication, and that's going to be her baby. So we're going to really see what she can do. So I can't wait for that. So that was really cool. I also like the fact about how they can't take their helmets off. Ever? I mean, ever? Is really ever? They can never take their helmet. Are they're going to be taking a shower with their helmet on? How do they eat? Do they all sit around and have they straws up underneath their helmets, and they're all slurping whatever they're drinking or eating or whatever. It's the funniest thing. I really want to know more about that because you gotta take it off. I mean, seriously. So I didn't understand. Now, the big Mandalorian, his name's Paz Vizsla, and from what, and by the way, he was voiced by Jon Favreau. That's a lot of people don't know that. And the guy who played him in the armor is a guy named Tate Fletcher, who was the thug in the first episode that got beat up or killed. I'm not sure if he got killed in that episode. So that's kind of cool how they did that. And his character, I'm wondering if he's connected to Pre-Vizsla, who was in the Clone Wars. He basically served as a governor on Concordia of the moon Mandalore, which is another thing I'm going to talk about in a minute about Mandalore. And he was the leader of Death Watch, a commando group of Mandalorians, which is really, really cool. So if you want to see more about it, you can check it out. He was in Clone Wars. Really, really cool. Which, again, what I want to talk about Mandalore, when he has those flashbacks about when he's a kid, are those Mandalorians? And I don't know if they are or not, because when Paz says that this empire shattered the world, does that mean they were Mandalorians? And was he a Mandalorian? Or what? I'm really curious. I can't wait to find out more about that. And again, the town was very cool. I enjoyed the way that how dirty it is. I mean, it's just really, really, really cool. The whole episode was really good. I enjoyed the heck out of it. And hopefully they continue on going down this route. And there's actually no questions being answered. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention. The names of the characters. Werner Herzog's character is the client. The armor, the looks like the leader of the Mandalorians in that base, the armor. He's the Mandalorian. The Baby Yoda is the child. Very spaghetti westernish. I really enjoyed that. I think it's very cool. So, what did you guys think? Did y'all like it? I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fun episode. Baby Yoda again. Every time Baby Yoda's in, he steals the show. There is actually a scene in there when the eye comes out from the wall to check the credentials of the Mandalorian, and Baby Yoda, it almost like the Baby Yoda is like in shock, like, what is that? It's a funny little scene. So I hope you guys liked it. I enjoyed it, and if you want to talk about it, feel free to leave a comment. I'd love to talk about it. And I hope you guys come back for more of my reviews for the next one, Mandalorian 4. Chapter 4. We don't know what I don't know yet the title of it is. So hopefully it's going to be as good as these last three, and because this series is really good, and I think it's doing a good thing for Star Wars. So thanks again, and I guess I'll see you guys here on another review of The Mandalorian. Bye-bye.